Assalamu alaikum dear students, myself Dr. Zahid Nazir. Today we will discuss about the hypothalamus and pituitary gland as the endocrine glands. In the previous lecture we have discussed the hormones, definition of hormone, chemical nature of hormone, mode of action of hormone and endocrine glands, the list of endocrine glands in the higher animals, especially human being. You know very well, the hypothalamus is the part of the human brain, part of human brain, especially the part of the human brain, especially diencephalon, the limbic system of diencephalon. It is located just below the thalamus region, below the thalamus, and it is the connecting linkage, or we can say that link between nervous and endocrine system of our body. Hypothalamus connects the pituitary gland by neurosecretory cells on posterior side of the pituitary gland, and on anterior side it connects the pituitary gland via endocrine tissues or cells and with their circulatory vessels, or we can say that directly via blood vessels. It means the pituitary gland hanging with the stalks and blood vessels, stalks of the nerve cells and blood vessels of the neurosecretory cells of pituitary glands, directly connects the pituitary gland with the hypothalamus. You know very well, the pituitary gland, which is also called as hypophysis. Hypophysis on posterior side has posterior lobe. This is called posterior lobe, which is also called neurohypophysis. It is called as neurohypophysis, and on inferior side it is called as anterior lobe, which is also called as the adenohypophysis, hypophysis. And in between these two lobes, this is a median lobe, or we can say that intermediate lobe. This lobe is functional in case of other mammals except a human being. This lobe in other mammals secrete MSH, melanocyte MSH stimulating hormone, which controls the darkening of skin in the mammals. But in case of human being, it is fused or connected with the interior lobes and function with inferior lobes. These are the three lobes of the hypophysis or pituitary glands. This is the connection linkage, stop of the nerves and this is the connection linkage. The circulatory vessels, or we can say the blood vessels, which connects the endocrine tissue of the hypothalamus with the posterior lobe, or endocrine tissues of the posterior lobe. You know very well, in case of hypothalamus, the neurosecretory cells, neurosecretory cells release two most important hormones. The number one is oxytocin and other one ADH, antidiuretic hormone. These two hormones, which are actually secreted from the neurosecretory cells of the hypothalamus, and these neurosecretory cells posteriorly connected with the posterior lobe or lobe of the pituitary gland, and these hormones released from the neurosecretory cells and stored in the nerve ending of the nerve ending present in the posterior lobes of the pituitary gland. These two hormones, the function of oxytocin hormone is quite clear, means the contraction of the uterine muscles during labor, as well as the contraction of mammary muscles during breastfeeding, during baby feeding. And ADH, which is also called antidiuretic hormone, it secretes during dehydration condition from the hypothalamus and stored into the nerve ending of the pituitary glands of the posterior lobes. And during dehydration condition, it stimulates the collecting ducts of the nephron for reabsorption of water, more and more water from the filtrator. These two hormones are most important when they are stored in the nerve ending of the posterior lobe. Now, on anterior side, the neurosecretory cells of the pituitary gland, neurosecretory cells of the hypothalamus secrete two types of hormones. The number one hormone, that is called the RH, that is also called a releasing hormone, and this is IH, that is called inhibiting hormone. While these neurosecretory cells of the hypothalamus secrete the RH hormones, these releasing hormones stimulates the endocrine tissues, endocrine cells of the anterior lobe of the hypothalamus for the secretion of the most important group of hormone, that is called as the tropic hormone. These are called tropic hormones. In other words, we can say that the nourishing hormone, the tropic hormone, these tropic hormones are number of. These are maybe the ACTH, also TSH, also STH, also FSH, LH, and prolactin. These are the tropic hormones. These hormones are released from the interior lobes, endocrine cells of the anterior lobes of the pituitary gland directly into the blood vessels. While the tropic hormones reach to the targeted glands or targeted organs, it stimulates that targeted glands for their secretion, for their function, as ACTH hormone stimulates adrenal cortex for their function. TSH stimulates thyroid gland for secretion. STH, it is called somatotrophic hormone. It is stimulate the somatic cells. somatic cells for division. FSH and LH hormone both stimulates the gonads for secretion of hormone, and prolactin hormone stimulates the mammary glands. Mammary glands for the secretion or for the production of milk. These trophic hormones stimulate the targeted glands for their secretion, for their function. That's why these hormones are called trophic hormones, because they stimulates other targeted glands or organs. Due to this stimulation, due to this production of trophic hormone, formerly the pituitary gland was named as master glands. But it is quite clear now. It is quite clear the pituitary gland itself influenced by the hypothalamus by certain specific RH and IH hormone. It means it works under the coordination of the hypothalamus, and now the number of disorder, or we can say that abnormalities which are related to the abnormal secretion of the pituitary gland. Few we will discuss here as the abnormalities means abnormalities of pituitary gland. Means abnormalities associated with the abnormal secretion of pituitary gland. The number one is the gigantism. The second one is the acromegaly. The third one is the dwarfism. In case of gigantism, in the childhood or adolescence, the too high secretion of STH, or we can say that GH hormone. Due to high secretion of GH or excessive secretion of GH hormones during the adulthood or adolescence, the person reach to feminized height, means very high height or feminized height due to higher secretion of due to excessive secretion of the STH or GH. If this secretion sudden become high secretion of STH, or we can say that GH during adulthood, the bones as well as the soft tissues become abnormally grow. The legs, hands and jaw become thick and abnormal. This condition is said to be acromegaly. It is also due to the high secretion of GH hormone, but during the adulthood. The next one is dwarfism. It is a low secretion, or we can say that too low secretion. Low secretion of STH or GH hormone during also childhood or during adolescence. If the secretion too low, then the person, or we can say that the affected person will be short in height. Short in height. This is the dwarfism, and these are abnormalities associated with the abnormal secretion of pituitary gland. This is brief about the coordination working of hypothalamus and pituitary gland in the endocrinology as the endocrine glands, and this is brief about the connection of nervous and endocrine system. Inshallah, in the next lecture, we will discuss most important MCQs concerning with this topic, and which will be most important, which will be most beneficial for students from entry test as well as from the board examination point of view. For new lectures, for the upcoming lectures, please subscribe and share my channel. Thanks.